My father's father had two brothers and a sister. His older sister, Hazel, had married a man named Jim Yunker, and he was involved in the bottling business early on, as early as 1906 in Indianapolis, and he sold flavors. He would have had grape, cream soda, blood orange, ginger ale. In 1915, he got the franchise for Coca-Cola in Indianapolis. So then we fast forward 20 years later to 1935, Jim Yunker approached my grandfather and his two brothers and said the franchises in Kokomo, Logansport, and Peru are available for sale, and you guys want this. Trust me, you want to get in the Coca-Cola business.
The Coca-Cola of Kokomo Elite Series has traversed the country over half a dozen times so far in 2020, but every event has one thing in common, with one exception. All races but one have been on ovals, and we're about to begin the waiting portion of the season, and it's heavily doused with challenging road courses: Barber, Long Beach, and Circuit of the Americas. Tonight's event is not held on one of these three tracks, but it is our penultimate oval event of the season. Welcome to Kentucky Speedway, where tonight IES will run 150 laps around this 1.5-mile oval as part of our march towards the 2020 Spring Championship. Welcome to Sim TV. My name's Kyle Heyer, joined tonight by Finney DeCuna. Finney, in 150 laps at Kentucky Speedway. This place is fast, it's treacherous, it is very slippery as well if you get outside of that inside groove here. Your expectations tonight?
I think it's going to be pretty chaotic here, very quick 1.5 oval. These cars are fantastic to watch on these slightly shorter ovals in comparison to Michigan and Auto Club. Should put on some fantastic racing. Can't wait to see these guys get on the track. In fact, a few guys have already got on track as qualifying is underway.
Yeah, qualifying's underway, and people are kind of taking their time tonight getting out on course, so we haven't seen a lot of people lay down times just yet. But we'll head down there as Joe Branch gets on course in his number 20. Is that a new paint scheme I'm seeing on this car tonight? Looks a little bit different than it normally does. Nope, same one, just looking at it from a different angle. The number 28 of Joe Branch, of course, out of Indiana. Look at the red glow in the evening sun, and it is a day-to-night transition race here tonight, Finian. Conditions, beautiful. 83 degrees Fahrenheit, 85 on the racetrack. Perfect skies, perfect night for racing in Kentucky.
Yeah, warm night indeed for these drivers, and I imagine everyone's just waiting on the track. They're waiting for it to be as cool as possible as the sun continues to set. They want to have the best conditions on track to put out a time. We'll probably see a lot of these guys get on a track with about 2 minutes remaining in the session.
So Branch will come across the line. What is it going to be? It'll be a 24.571. That's going to put him 8th, which is dead last of the drivers that have put down laps so far. We'll see if he can improve on his second lap out, which we would expect to be the case. And look, I love that red glowing in the sunlight, the Coca-Cola red. Off into turn 3. And he'll roll through turn 4. 5 minutes remaining in qualifying. We'll pull up the tower here in a moment to show you where Branch will stack up across the line. A 23.990. That will put him on pole for now.
And you can see a few of the guys are putting times later. They're going to more likely than not be faster. Obviously, the stop's going to matter quite a bit. But these guys, a lot of these guys fighting for thousands of seconds between each other.
AJ Burton out of the UK always shows up on these oval events, Finian, and he's always competitive. Think back to Auto Club, think back earlier in the season. He's been mighty competitive on these bigger ovals, and I'd expect him to be very much the same way tonight. He's currently 9th in qualifying. I would expect him to pick up a significant amount of time here on his second lap. It'll be a 24.028. That should put him 3rd on the board. And indeed it will. 24.027 is what the time officially goes in the books as. Chad Simpson in one of the Spark VR cars out on track as well.
A lot more drivers starting to get on track. Schauen, Lichtenberg, Thompson, Chin, just to name a few of the guys currently putting times down. Right on board with Chad Simpson coming out at turn 4, going to start his qualifying run.
So news this week is that Riley Thompson has left TDR Racing, so he is now an independent team. And last round's winner was Henry Bennett in the 007, and I don't see him here yet. Oh, there he is. He's here. Just hasn't laid down a time yet. So we'll see how Bennett does. But off into turn 3. Look at the sun setting here in Kentucky. It's a beautiful, beautiful night. I'm really excited to get racing here this evening as to come across the line. Simpson, 24.697 on lap number 1. He'll go around for lap 2. Look at the speeds that he's sustaining in the corner. So 217, 218, 219, and now off towards 3 again. Have a look at this. And taking also a look at special attention to the nose of this car. So this is, again, Chad Simpson. You see the carbon fiber wicker piece on the end of that front wing. Let's head over to someone else that's on track. How about Brennan Lichtenberg in the number 10, running the same wing level here.
I imagine a lot of these guys are going to be running similar downforce levels, except for Henry Bennett in the 00, having no wicker, just straight up wing.
Ray Kingsbury. I imagine all the Spark VR cars will be running something similar. Caleb Weekly running 2 stages of that front wicker. So a bit more downforce on this car. Flynn Lazier, same Spark VR team. All of those Spark VR cars driving the same wicker level.
More times being put down as we speak. Spark RGC, a little bit more wing on the 29 car.
Yeah, so it kind of varies. There's everyone with 3 different wicker options. All 3 of those options have been represented so far. And with 2 minutes left in qualifying, it's Matt Pavelski in the number 12 who's gone to the top of the board. Branch still holds on to second. It's going to be a great effort for Joe Branch, regardless of how many people knock him out of second place. It's still going to be a solid run for him. Adam Crane on track in the 6th.
Yeah, there are a lot of drivers in this session. I think it's probably the most drivers you've seen in any event. There's almost 40 of them here tonight.
Yeah, it's a big field for sure. Adam Crane off into 3 at 220 miles an hour. We'll see what he's got on the nose of his car. Just 1 stage of wicker. That seems to be the popular option tonight. A good middle ground.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think you want to run enough wing to be able to at least go full throttle through the corner. Any extra just kind of overkill is just going to make you slower on the straightaways and slow down your top end speed. Look at Jason Brophy, currently 38th. With his first lap in, he's going to have to try to improve.
24.054, that'll put him high up the order out of the 11, which isn't bad. He was actually on the podium last round out at Iowa Speedway. Put himself in 3rd place. He gets bumped to a 12th place, rather, as we conclude qualifying here.
And a couple of guys just coming across the line. John Poole in the 39, he's going to rocket past the line. It's going to be... Ooh, is that a 21?
24.1 will only put him P27. So there's a lot of work for John Poole to do tonight, that's for sure. On the back straightaway, he'll back it on down, and I think that's pretty much everybody qualified. So it'll be Matt Pavelski in the number 12 on pole, Branch in second. Down at the tail of the field, though, Chris Cahill only at 24.6, down in 39th place.
Yeah, I think he made a mistake, I think, on his second lap, and that's going to cost him dearly all the way in the back in 39th. He's not going to be able to race tonight. Same with Clark, Archer, Cohen, Evans, Marshall Stanley, Charles, Ante, Aaron Roos are all not going to make it into the show. That's going to be 6 drivers going home.
So qualifying is complete, and your starting order is on the left-hand side of your screen. We'll wait for the grid to sort up here tonight. Again, the track conditions tonight absolutely perfect for racing, and the track temp isn't going to fall much more than this because we're pretty close to ambient already. Local time, about 5 o'clock here in the evening. So the sun just about to dip off below the horizon. The golden glow of the daytime is about to go away and turn on the lights here at Kentucky Speedway. And I'm so excited. Every time we come here for IndyCar action, I always find that this racetrack is one of the more exciting ovals.
Yeah.
I put it in the same realm as Auto Club and as well as Michigan. I always feel like those 3 tracks put on a really good show. So heading down to the racetrack, gridding time for 150 laps here this evening. Here's your race rundown. 219 miles of action. Which is not necessarily a super short race, not a very long one either, though. 1 hour exactly, if they were to start. I don't think we've ever seen that happen before.
No, yeah, that's kind of amazing. Usually, you expect, be a few more seconds here, a few more seconds there. It's showing on our estimation, the way it calculates it, it's going to take exactly an hour to the second. So that's kind of funny to see here as we got the grid getting sorted out on the pit road here. From the lights on.
So Branches, everyone's taking a merry time to grid up tonight. Maybe making some last setup adjustments before they roll off this evening. Again, thanks for joining us here on Sim TV. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like for more content. We got a lot of stuff coming up the next couple of weeks with real racing kind of on the down low, the back burner. That's the word I was looking for. We got a lot of sim racing action. We got the Washington D.C. region SCCA back with us for a couple special events starting next Friday night. The 1.2 hours of Summit Point. There'll be Mustangs and MX-5s for 72 minutes. We've got tomorrow. We've got 2 series. We've got 3 wide racing league. We've also got the ERSCA running stock cars.
Yep, and also on Wednesday we got the series that I'm running, that we're both putting up, in fact, and Kyle helping me out a lot, and also broadcasting. It should be a fantastic broadcast, putting in a lot of work. And that's even saying that it's an understatement. So definitely looking to put on a great show. I got a fantastic list of drivers, and I'm really excited to see how the first event goes out.
Yeah, again, so it'll be Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. The broadcast will be live a little bit before that, but it's going to be 2 20-minute races at Circuit of the Americas with the TCR and GT4 cars racing at COTA. So it's going to be a blast. It'll be a brand new, ticker look the same, but everything else, all the lower third graphics, everything else is completely different and brand new animations. We got all sorts of cool renderings, so make sure that you're there on Wednesday night to catch all that. All right, let's roll through our starting lineup here. We got a lot of people to go through. So on the front row tonight, it's going to be Matt Pavelski in the number 12 and Joe Branch in the number 28. He'll roll off in second in his Coca-Cola sponsored car.
Moving on back, and it looks like he's going to be taking an EOL penalty. He's going to be Christopher Demeritte in the 144. You see him pulling it off to the side. And he would have been starting next to Brendan Lichtenberg on the 10 in 4th.
In 5th place, Matt Kingsbury in the number 21 and AJ Burton in the number 50. He'll roll off in 6th place tonight on the outside of row number 3.
Moving on back to row number 4, we find the 00 of Henry Bennett. The 007 of Henry Bennett in 7th place. Next to him in 8th, our reigning champion Adam Blocker in the 1.
Joe Flanagan and Andrew Kinsella will round out the rest of your top 10. We're going to let the rest of those scroll on through. EOLs for round number 8 in Kentucky will be Chris Demeritte, AJ Burton, Brian Carey, Cohen Evans, Liam Quinn, and Andrew Wood, all heading to the tail of the field. You see Andrew Wood drop into the back there as well, so they'll be heading to the back for the start of this event. Team points as we come into the night. It's Power Slide with 302 points and 294.5 points for Last Lap Motorsports, and Indy Elite Misfits will be 3rd in points with 224.5 points. 3 wins for Power Slide, 1 for Last Lap, and 2 for Indy Elite Misfits. Time to go racing at Kentucky. Field rolling through turns 3 and 4 at the front of the field. Here we go. Matt Pavelski in the number 12 and Joe Branch in the 28. Green flag flies, and we're racing at Kentucky in the Coca-Cola of Kokomo Elite Series. Lap 1 completed. It's Pavelski out front by a tenth of a second, but here comes Matt Kingsbury to the outside of one of the golden white Spark VR machines, and he's going to take a look for the lead. Lichtenberg in third. Branch has fallen to fourth already, dropping down the order. Behind him, Bennett and Blocker, fifth and sixth.
Kingsbury's trying to move himself up the order early on. Lichtenberg also going to join Kingsbury on the outside. He's going to go way outside. Blocker looking up the middle, 3 wide. He's going to poke his nose in there.
And the Blocker machine up the middle right now. The reigning champion has been kind of on and off this season, missed a few events. He's also won some events, so we know he's good. And the points coming into the night, it's Philip Kraus as the points leader. Henry Bennett, 73 points back. They have to look all the way back to 9th to find Adam Blocker back there. So he's got a lot of work to do, 167 back from the lead. Bennett, though, in second place in the points, and he's 7th on the racetrack as we complete lap number 3.
Bennett trying to move himself up to the front, joining Blocker, his teammate, to kind of get themselves up in those top few positions. But it's going to be Kingsbury that falls back to second place. Pavelski still working strong in that 12, just holding that inside lane.
He's got the inside lane. Kingsbury's going to back off, and we're going to see how this track changes throughout the course of the night with rubber getting laid down, if that's going to change anything. Whoa! Lichtenberg almost gets turned off the nose of Bennett, and they somehow avoid disaster.
Yeah, remember, for IndyCar, you can't use the apron, so these guys staying off of it, and they got very close together, almost touching their noses, but luckily they were able to avoid disaster.
Here comes Kingsbury back to the outside. He's been having such a strong run out there, but he's unable to complete the pass as the night goes on, Finian. Do you think that outside lane will get better or worse?
I think it might get a little bit better. You can see Kingsbury just hiking ahead, but the problem is he's not able to clear. And you can see him just trying to pinch that 12 car on the inside. I think once the tires start to wear out, it's definitely going to be a bit of a factor with the inside cars being pinched. But so far, that 12 looking really strong.
Here comes Adam Blocker from 8th to 4th and looking for 3rd on the outside of Andrew Kinsella, who himself started in 10th. So we got a couple cars that are charging forward very, very quickly.
And Kinsella wasting no time, going to immediately work to the outside, 3 wide, almost 4 wide there for a second.
They thought about it, they didn't do it though. Here comes the 21 out the outside. That's Kingsbury to the lead. He's going to be able to clear the 12. It looks like he will.
And this is where we're talking about the tires wearing out. You can see already as Kingsbury is able to pinch him to the inside. Outside prevailing early on, and here comes Kinsella following on through, going to get second place. He's not done yet, looking for first.
These guys are flirting with disaster at 217 miles an hour down the front straightaway. They're laid out 4 abreast like fighter jets down the front straightaway. Adam Blocker going to take a look up the middle and see if he can find some room to race. He's going to move up into 3rd here on the inside of Pavelski, the pole sitter.
Yeah, and all these guys are going to be looking for clean air as much as they can get it. You don't want to be turning these cars in dirty air right in behind the car in front of you. You're just wearing out your tires more, so they're going to be searching for those hole and pockets of clean air. There you see Blocker giving lane, it seems, to Henry Bennett to the inside.
Maybe he just wants the outside, and here comes the 14 of Kinsella, sneaking up to the outside lane. He's going to run right alongside Kingsbury for that top spot.
Yeah, teammates 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at the moment. Kinsella, Blocker, and Bennett. You're almost always at the front, these guys.
They're super good at what they do, Finney, and they're not going to back on down. Kinsella to the lead. Kingsbury slow through turn 4. He's going to lose 1 spot, maybe 2 or 3, because he's got Bennett and Blocker flanking him from behind.
Also, there's Christopher behind the 13. Where did he start from? I don't remember seeing him inside the top 10.
17.
Yeah, that's why. So he's come from a long way back already early on, joining his teammates up on the front.
Yeah, Matt Black knows of that car. Cutting through the air, the silver.
Whoa!
Check out the 21 out of control, and somehow we don't wad him all up.
And Lichtenberg might have gotten a piece of the wall. I think he was just able to keep off of it, but got really close. And now everyone's swapping Kingsbury. I think he's got a problem.
Yeah, the 21 definitely seems like there's something wrong with that car. He had a big slide.
Yeah, you can see him drifting.
He's struggling.
Yeah, you see him drifting out of the corner here. I think he's just lacking downforce or grip on the exit of the corners. Not sure that's setup, weight jack, or what it
Trying
is.
to see if there was any floor damage to that car, like he'd had contact with somebody, because he seems like the car's unstable.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it though. Looks okay, but what a wild ride he had.
Might have been too aggressive with the weight jacker setting. Now the car just a little bit too oversteery. So we'll see if he can adjust it, get that car dialed back in, and move back up. But he was in the lead at one point, now only back in 7th, and still got a bunch of cars in behind him.
Joe Branch in the number 28. He has gone nowhere but backwards since the drop of the green flag. Started in 2nd, now is 8th. And might lose another spot here very soon to Adam Crane, who's coming up to his outside and bringing Joe Flanagan with him.
Oh, and 3 wide right behind them, there's Jason Brophy fighting alongside Philip Kraus. And Kraus, I think, has come from a decent way back in the 12th place position. Oh, actually, he started around there in 14th.
Yeah, and again, he's the point leader right now. Did he almost get the wall there? It was pretty tight. Well, if he did or not.
Might have just tapped it. I don't see any side pod damage. That's the thing you just got to worry about, is make sure you don't get any damage.
Looks okay to me. Maybe there's a slight scrape there. Yeah, it looks like there is. The rear Wheel cover kind of bent out of formation, but it should be okay. Ray Kingsbury in the 25, a little bit deeper than some of his teammates. And Riley Thompson, no longer a TDR team member. Taking a look at the car that he's got on.
That's
the
beautiful.
Simsa Esports car. That's a great looking livery, isn't it? Started 29th up to 16th. He's traversed half the field so far.
Yeah, making great progress forward and still trying to do so. He's fighting with Jason Brophy there in the UPS car on the outside lane.
How about third place again? Pavelski trying to move his way back forward to the outside of Christopher, who was on a mission from 17th place tonight. He's up to 4th and continues his climb.
The leader's kind of breaking away. I was expecting it to be a little bit more of a pack building up, but for the most part, very single file.
And is this, do you think, the result of the open setups kind of spreading people out more, or is this just typical Kentucky racing?
I think this is, it might be a little bit of both, but definitely the open setups are helping it, I think. You have these cars set up different from one another. You can have them set up for certain conditions, and it seems like a lot of these guys have their cars prefer to, be more so by themselves than in a group setting.
How about a group setting with Philip Kraus leading the way? Thank you for that segue, by the way. Riley Thompson in there, Ray Kingsbury, Jason Brophy, who was on the podium last round out at Iowa. He's going to take a look to the outside lane. The whole group of race cars together.
Brophy trying to make that outside lane work, but it's a bit of a traffic jam because almost everyone is up there. You can see up the road there's Simon Bryant ducking in, getting himself clear. Philip Kraus working his way through, as well as Ray Kingsbury. Riley Thompson just kind of stuck in the middle of this on the inside.
And so much focus that's going. You can just see Riley Thompson, and there's Joshua Chin poking to the inside.
Oh,
3 wide at the exit of turn
awesome.
2. Wow, that was cool. Looking over the shoulder of the 88.
Chin's season has been a little bit surprising. The few races that he's entered, I don't believe he's entered every race.
No,
hasn't been too amazing. He started back in 28, is up into 16, so he's made good progress forward. But this car is a little bit stronger, I feel, last season. He seemed to actually get swamped up and getting put back as Brophy goes to his inside, and here comes Riley Thompson as well.
Yeah, and Joshua Chin, I feel like you think back to last season, it was at Sebring that he absolutely put a whooping on the field. Completely destroyed everybody there, went to Road America and did something very similar. Didn't end up actually winning that race, but was extremely good. So I think the road courses for Joshua Chin are where he's going to really excel. We've got 3 of those coming up on the schedule, so I think it's going to be a good look for him.
Yeah, and actually, as you just took a look at why the few races we've seen Chin enter, he's actually only entered 1 race this season so far at New Hampshire.
That seemed like we were missing some information there.
Yeah, finished 17th there. So it hasn't been a great season so far, the few starts he's made. We'll see if he can improve tonight as he tries to move up the order.
21 laps into this 150-lap event. So far, we've been clean and green. No real threats for disaster other than the one we had. And look at these guys squirming out the back straight.
Yeah, we say that, but this is, that's really where the pack is kind of formed. You typically expect the pack to be more up to the front, but the leaders, in fact, that most of the top 10 are kind of separate out, single file, fairly more or less by themselves. These guys still in a very big pack.
Oh, Kingsbury up the outside. Almost didn't fit, but he made it work. Here he comes.
And I was going to try to get a run back on Bryant on the straightaway. It's a battle for 12th place, and here comes Kingsbury going to get to the inside.
And wow, what a pass that was.
And the key thing when you race in a pack like this, really, for these cars is being able to break away. And I think that's what a lot of these guys have struggled with. They've not been able to break away, and they're kind of just been drawn towards one another. Look at John Poole. He started back in 27. A lot of guys starting past 25th, finding themselves already inside the top 20. Great movement forward for these drivers.
Yeah, you have to wonder who's falling back, though. We've seen everyone we looked at has pretty much gone forward.
Yeah.
Who's slipping back? Well, Joe Branch back to 11th after starting in 2nd. That's not the way he wanted to start tonight.
We've seen Christopher Demerit, who got an EOL, remember, was slated to start, I believe, 3rd or 4th. Is currently up into 19th.
Adam Blocker leads the way. He's led 6 circuits so far. Kinsella has led 9. Christopher, though, has led 0, and he's sitting in 3rd behind the teammates, just plotting and planning.
Yeah, I think he's just going to be kind of riding along with these guys. I think they have a game plan they're trying to stick towards and, just not mess with each other's races, focus on keeping, especially the Broken Arrow guys in behind him, Pavelski and Lichtenberg.
And Pavelski fell back on the initial start, but it now seems like he's gotten its groove back. He has not fallen off quite as much as some of the other drivers seem to have done. So we'll see if Pavelski comes back forward. Again, he started on pole tonight. He led 5 laps, but now has fallen to 4th place. So we'll see if he stays there or continues to drop or if he climbs back forward. John Poole is still moving his way forward up to 14th place now.
Rocking around the outside is going to take the spot from Brian. Brian Beginning a trickle back. We saw him. He was fighting with Kingsbury up for 12th, and he's back in 15 now, trying to hold off Flanagan and Chin to the inside.
And Flanagan started 9th. He's one of the drivers that has fallen rearward. 9th to 17th for the 53 car. Again, a new livery on that car. He used to be orange and blue colors, and looked very much like John Poole. So I'm not sure if that certainly wasn't the reason why he changed it up, but certainly a good-looking race car. That's the 50 of AJ Burton. Are we surprised that he? Ooh. 6th to 19th. He's another driver that kind of fell off the
so he's one of the drivers that we were talking about that we're not sure who's really falling back. It was AJ Burton.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that for sure. The 20 car almost got, or the 00 rather, almost got the fence behind him, but there's something amiss maybe.
Was he one of the drivers that got an EOL? I don't think so.
Oh, you might be right. Yes, he was.
I was going to say, because I don't think with the speed he's passing these guys, the car looks quick.
And Christopher Merritt, another one of those cars as well. So he officially would have started 3rd tonight, but had an EOL, so he has had quite the evening. And I don't have the lowest information for him, but he was down somewhere about 32nd, 33rd spot.
He was pretty far back.
Lichtenberg has moving past Pavelski into 4th place. Adam Crane in the number 6 car has moved himself into 9th after starting at 11th tonight. Tony Schowen in the 31, 25th attempt. A lot of forward momentum tonight. And again, I think some of this helps that there was about 5 or 6 cars that had EOLs, but these guys have been putting the work in tonight.
Trying to get past Adam Crane. And you see a lot of wing on the 31, and this makes sense. You know, you're definitely gonna want to have a little bit more wing to work with in a race session, not so much in qualifying, especially one of the extra downforce when you're stuck in behind traffic. And actually, since we're on that camera, we're on that camera, let's see if we can take a look through the field, especially some of the guys up front. I'm curious what these guys are running. Also full wicker.
So here's Andrew Kinsella, who is your current leader, full wicker on that car. Same with Blocker, Stouffer, same thing. Lichtenberg, same thing. So we're noticing a trend here, Finn. All the cars at the front of the field continue to have more and more downforce. So who's the first driver that's not on full wicker? That is Andreas Eich in the 76.
Yeah, he's running 2 stages of wicker, I believe, and that's an extension to that other little bit of carbon fiber.
And Matt Kingsbury again full wicker. Crane with more full wicker. So again, I think the race setup is to have the full wicker on this car, but maybe there's some drivers throughout the rest of the field that have decided to not do that.
I'm curious in seeing some of the drivers that have fallen back. Maybe Joe Branch in the 28. But
he's got full wicker as well. He's back to 14th place. Bryant, I think pretty much everybody's running full wicker on this car at this stage, which kind of makes sense to me. But I mean, is there any advantage to running less than full?
No, I don't think so. Again, then you're going to suffer from a lot of understeer in some of these cars. And looking at Andrew Wood, yeah, I mean, he's running only 2 stages of wicker, not even the extension, and he's all the way back in 27th.
And all the way through the field. And there's only 2 cars. Make that 3, make it 4.
He has the extension.
Okay, so 3 cars that don't actually make that 2. Because the other, I believe it was Ike had the extension as well. There's 2 cars that don't have the full wicker on it tonight. So that is a really interesting look at the setup information tonight. Everybody seems to be on the same page, front wing wise.
And granted, obviously there are some more changes. You can adjust the angle of the front wing and the rear wing, but we can't see that. So those are the other little intricacies, but we can definitely see the wicker, and that's definitely going to give you a decent amount of downforce to work with, as small as it is, considering these cars have little downforce to work with. So as we look at Blocker and Kinsella side by side.
Yeah, these two have just been kind of duking it out. We haven't really shown you every single battle that they've had because they've been doing it the whole time.
And one battle we missed actually is Lichtenberg got past Stouffer. Stouffer's dropped back into 4th place, so this 10 car now starting to look alive a little bit as he's trying to chase down the leaders.
Yeah, his last lap, we'll see what he comes on through, a 24.852. That was quicker than the 2 drivers ahead of him.
Yeah, so he's catching back up and looking to be a factor in it. I was curious if Kinsella, Blocker, and Stouffer is going to kind of run away with this, but it looks like this 10, he's not giving up just yet.
Deeper in the field, John Poole up to 13th place, just got around Joe Branch in the number 28 car. Ray Kingsbury also storming forward. No, correction, he has not gone much of anywhere tonight. 12th to 12th. Poole is the one that's been storming, but Branch denies him and will take that spot back and put Poole back to P14. So let's start thinking about pit stops here, Finney. We're 37 laps in. What do you think is a strategy? Split it into thirds?
Yeah, I think split it into thirds. The cars definitely, I'll be amazed if they can go 75 laps on a tank, so you're definitely going to have to at least go 2 stops to end this race. I would just do 50, 50, 50 and call it a day. I don't think there's really going to be much more to do than other than that. I definitely think you can play around with the window, you know, +2, -2, depending on the traffic situation and how that's looking, but I wouldn't do anything too crazy because you saw Lichtenberg get past Kinsella and not putting up much of a fight. So now here comes Lichtenberg as Blocker's catching up to some lap traffic here. He's got Caleb Weekly, and I don't know who that other car is.
The other car would be maybe perhaps Dakota DCN.
Oh,
Aaron Roofs, excuse me. And they're going to go a lap down
Lichtenberg going to get to the inside of Blocker, pass for the lead, 3 wide with lap traffic.
Off into 3, side by side. And Blocker's going to try to hold it back through the middle of the racetrack. More traffic to deal with up ahead of them. That is Weekly, I believe.
Yeah, you can see Lichtenberg struggle on that inside lane. Is not able to get the run off like the one of Blocker can. He's going to fall on the high side.
Sorry to cut you off.
Yep.
Andrew Kinsella hits pit lane.
Ooh.
Pavelski is also going to be on down, as well as Henry Bennett. So pit stops are away at lap number 40 here tonight. And Andreas Eich, I want to put your attention on this 76 car because this series has come here once before, and he is the only winner in the field that has won here at Kentucky in this series. So maybe we should keep an eye on what Andreas Eich is doing because he's known how to win it before, and he's one of the drivers that is running the different wicker setting. So again, maybe he's got a different strategy than everybody else tonight.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how much longer these guys can actually push the fuel mileage. I imagine they probably can if we've already seen a couple of guys ditch on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's
here comes
Blocker. So there's two, thoughts when you come down this early. They know that they can easily go on 2 stops, and they're just coming a little early just to get the
spins. Gonna spin on pit road, gonna try to get the car pointed back in the right direction, but was looking like a solid finish for him. He's gonna drop him way down the order. He's giving up a lot of time. Finally gets that car back straight.
That's really costly. That might cost him up to a lap.
Yeah.
With all the time that he spent sideways on the pit lane. Let's go back and take a look at exactly how it transpired. Just in a little bit too hot. And just got off the banking in that transition, and then maybe locks up the brakes here. Yeah, locks up the rears, I think, and that's what turned him around.
And this is a tough pit road to come down to because remember the pit road's curved here, so you're constantly turning just a little bit. And when you put too much brake into it, one of the wheels is going to catch and you go sliding around when you're turning. Here comes Lichtenberg now for his stop.
From the lead, Lichtenberg in the number 10 will hit pit lane. We've had 20 lead changes so far in 43 laps, so it's been mighty competitive.
Crane! Oh, and he's still going to come down pit road. Oh, that's going to be a penalty.
Oh, no.
I don't know if he knows that he missed the cone or not, but, oh, man. I'm surprised he came in. If I was him, I would just got back on the gas and accelerate because now he's going to have to come back down again after and serve a drive-through.
Potentially a huge mistake here for the 6 of Adam Crane, and he's in his box. There's Ray Kingsbury as well.
And it looks like the last of the leaders are going to come on down, so...
This Adam Blocker should be the driver that cycles out to the lead. Christopher has gotten in between him and his teammate. And Blocker comes across the start-finish line. Here comes Lichtenberg out of pit lane on the apron, but Blocker and Stouffer and Kinsella and Pavelski will all go by. Working lap number 44, approaching the 1/3 mark of this race. We've had over 20 lead changes so far, but here comes Christopher to the inside, battle for the lead, and he'll take it away. Down towards turn number 1. It makes it look easy.
And I imagine these guys probably aren't fighting a whole lot. I think they're just trying to, keep each other in check here. I imagine they're going to try to work together, especially because I think their main competition is really going to be 10 of Lichtenberg and also the 12 of Pavelski.
What are the chances we go green all the way to the end? We've had 45 laps of green flag running. Do you think we can do it?
I think we definitely can, especially with the field as spread out as it is at the moment. There are a few close battles going on here and there, but for the most part, if we can actually go to a blimp shot, you can see this car is all over the racetrack and they're spread out fairly evenly for the most part.
A beautiful night. I always love coming to this racetrack because it looks absolutely gorgeous in night lighting. It's a beautiful sight to see, a sight to behold with IndyCar action. Thanks to Coca-Cola, bottling company of Kokomo, Indiana. We want to thank them for their continued support of the Indy Elite Series as we approach the 1/3 mark of this race. Here comes Blocker back to the inside. He'll take a look into 3. And again, I think you're right. I don't think they're really, I don't think they're getting the lead with the intention of holding onto it. I think they're just kind of toying at each other right now.
Yeah, they're leapfrogging right now. As you'll see them what they're gonna do here. Stouffer gonna go to the inside. Blocker letting them on by. Blocker gonna now pull in behind the 13. You can see Stouffer's not even gonna bother going to fence and gonna let the 1 get a nice draft. And this is what they're doing here, is trying to extend their run here by using the drafting car to get go even faster than they would by themselves.
Yeah, so this is really all for speed. This is not necessarily for competition purposes. Off into turn 1, and they're going to continue to do this same thing over and over and over.
So so the 12 of Pavelski's caught up to them. You can see that red and gray car zooming in by there. So he's caught up. There's Henry Bennett and also Lichtenberg in 6th.
So while these guys toy with each other up at the front, let's head a little bit deeper. How about 10th place? There's Ray Kingsbury and Joe Branch. Looks like a similar situation going on here, but Christopher Demerit started at the tail of the field after his EOL, back up to 12th place, so he's flying too.
It's an amazing, I mean, obviously when you look at the stat, of him starting up in 3rd and, dropping back 12, it looks like a bad day for him, but obviously he doesn't account for the EOL that he took. So a great day for the 144. I'm sure he's going to be kicking himself now because that EOL penalty is going to potentially cost him a solid, I think, maybe even top 5 finish here.
Yeah, he's 9.5 seconds back from the lead, but if he gets a caution, I mean,
I think he's going to need a caution. I think that's what I was saying. I think he's kicking himself because, it seems like, when you get an EOL, it's like, all right, I'm going to lean back. I'm going to try to pass as many cars as I can early on. But I gotta hope for a caution to get reset everyone, and then I can really work from there. But so far, no caution really reset the field.
Now, we've had 0 cautions in the first 50 laps of this event. We've got 100, make it 99 laps to go. And Andrew Wood in the 32, another driver that had an EOL earlier in the race, and running lower aero than everybody else, but in 17th.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit higher up. We saw him running around 25th. So not sure how much longer he's going to stay inside the top 20 when it's not really been the best of nights for the 32.
So you have to wonder a little bit about the setup situation for Riley Thompson. Now with this new team, I mean, is there anything different in the setup shop for the 58 car this week?
It could be. I imagine he knows, how he likes his cars set up. So I imagine some of his input in as well. We'll see. So far it's working pretty well for the 58.
Yeah, I mean, he's running 16th place, and we've seen him be really competitive on the ovals, but more so on the road courses. And we take a look at our what's coming up on our schedule here the next couple of weeks. Of course, we got 3 road courses. Next week will be Barber Motorsports Park, and then we've got I don't even know if it's directly next week. It might be the week after. Let's take a look at the schedule.
It'll be the week after.
Yeah, so it's in 2 weeks we'll have. No, it is next week. Barber next week.
Yeah, Barber's next week, and then 2 weeks.
Then 2 weeks after it's Long Beach, and then the week after that's Coda. Then another week and a half, 2 weeks after that is Indianapolis. So I think Barber, Riley Thompson, certainly competitive. I think Coda, for me, is the one that I'm going to watch out, Riley Thompson. He's getting a lot of practice this week for the Renzo Sports Car Challenge and the GT4 car. And once you learn out Coda and a GT4, it's going to be a whole lot easier to hire 18 Indy car.
And yeah, I will say, too, he's really fast in the, as they say, that 3 wide here, lap car on the outside, it's Caleb Weekly. There, and then it's Ryan Carey fighting with Philip Kraus to the inside.
Yeah, but as you're saying...
Yeah, and I was saying, with Riley Thompson, he was... oh, man, I can't stop talking about this. Brian Carey almost gets Kraus into the wall. I think Kraus took a bit of damage. Scraped the wall. That's the second time he's done it off of turn 2.
And I'm trying to get out of turn 4. Okay, now what are you saying? We got to straight away. Go.
Yeah, no, for Riley Thompson in the GT4, he's really fast, looking to be a potential championship contender because he is really quick.
Right, and the thing is you drive those heavier cars, those GT cars, you get in a car like this and it feels easy. So I think him running the Rodenzo Sports Car Challenge on Wednesday on SimTV, it's going to be a huge advantage for him when we go to Coda in a few weeks. Barber, that's a challenging track. I'm not really sure who's going to run well there because that's not a track you see a lot of people go to anymore in the iRacing service. So a lot of unknowns heading into next week.
Whoa,
these guys are playing around with fire, aren't they?
Yeah, Gary's car looking really tight, especially on the exit of the corner. That's what we saw. Kraus had to almost get into the wall trying to work past that 79. But now Simon Bryant in the 22 trying to do the same. Can't quite get it done.
Ty is 7th today for the number 79, but currently running in 17th place. Jason Brophy and Tony Shallon, these guys are running in 7th and 8th. And here comes the 31 car. Shallon has been so good at certain races, certain race tracks, but he has not been in victory lane in some time, Finney. And you take a look at the 31, how good he's been running. Is he overdue for a win? Yeah,
I mean, in the points he's doing all right. He's running in 6th, but I mean, he's had a few decent finishes in the midfield, 11th, 14th, 17th, and a few finishes in the top 10 in 4th and 7th. So I mean, I think definitely he's got the shot of getting a good finish tonight. This is actually be one of his better finishes. You're talking about finishing inside the top 10. Best finish, like I said, this season is 4th. So I mean, might have a shot of improving that, but I think might need a caution to help him out.
Ray Kingsbury and Demerit, this is for 11th place. Demerit continuing his climb forward, and Ray Kingsbury has been cursed with 12th tonight. Yeah. He has been unable to do anything with that 25, and he currently sits here exactly where he started.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, in general, really, I think for Spark VR, it just looks like they didn't quite nail the setup tonight. You saw Matt Kingsbury started up and was running up in the front, but that car was struggling. He's currently back in ninth, and is the leading car. Then we have Ray Kingsbury looking down the order for some other guys. Philip Krause is currently running in 16th. Chad Simpson only back in 26th. Frank Livick, where is he? He's back in 27th.
Yeah, so
it's been a struggle for that organization.
So you have to wonder. I mean, when an entire team, again, they're not running poorly. They're just not running where they usually do at these speedways. So when you think about that, I mean, is this a situation where they're building a setup for the end of the race, or is this a situation where perhaps they just set up the aero in a way that they thought the race would play out? We expected to see packs, and we're not seeing that.
Yeah, I think they just got the setup wrong, you know. And what way, shape, or form is up for the drivers to really determine. I'm not that familiar with the setup, so I can't really say a whole lot. But definitely doesn't seem like the cars are probably handling to the ability that they think it should be. And I mean, we could see if we get the cars bunched back up in a pack, they might be able to move back up the order. But so far, the way they're running single file for the most part, it's not working well for them.
Leader Adam Blocker negotiating some lap traffic. We still got 28 cars on the lead lap.
Caleb Weekly was down on the access road. Not sure what was wrong with him.
He just looks like he's going to hit pit lane. I don't see any damage on that car.
Early for a pit stop.
Very early. We just basically came in a little while ago, so I don't see there's any reason for him to come in now.
Weekly going 2 laps down, going to be a third back on pit lane. Meanwhile, on the track, you see the 14's the broken arrow, or sorry, the 12, the broken arrow car of Pavelski on the outside of Kinsella in the 14.
Oh, that's tight, and the 14 had a lift big time. That's going to give Pavelski the spot.
Yeah, so we're talking about that outside lane working well. Pavelski able to get the spot, and these guys with the lap traffic, I think they've caught. It's broken up the leaders quite a bit with Kinsella and Pavelski drifting on back. Now Pavelski 1.5 seconds back from Stouffer and Blocker.
There's Dakota DiCienzo in the number 43 car. Started in 32nd up to 30th, but a lap down here. But he's really loose.
Yeah.
So maybe a lower aero setup. We want to thank Dakota, though, because he's set up some amazing resources for me. He keeps me informed up here in the booth each and every week with the Google Drive that he has supplied.
Yeah, you can see it. With the even on the outside lane too, and that's typically where you're going to want to run with these cars. If they're feeling a little bit loose, you run the outside lane, puts less load on it. But you can see even then the car is still kicking out occasionally in the corner. You can see him fighting it a bit.
A lot more wheel going on in that car than you'd expect out of a high downforce Indy car, but currently in 30th place, a lap down. Let's jump back how about midfield here. Here's Philip Krause. Surprised, I mean, again, Spark VR in general hasn't been quite performing to our expectations, but Philip Krause also, hey, he's been the outlier for this team. He's been running well even when the rest of the team hasn't. He's your points leader, but 14th place or 16th right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I really think, again, because we expect the Kingsburys up at the top, Phil Krause up at the top, Frank Levick and Chad Simpson, you know, midfield, if not near the top. And they just have not been anywhere near. They're running midfield and in the back part of the field. So it's just been, I think, a struggle for them. And it's really not much you can do. You can try to make, you know, adjustments to, you know, the weight jacker to try to get the car handling in the right way. But, you know, stuff like wing, you can't really adjust a whole lot. And you can play around the tire pressure. There's only so much you can do once you're out on the track.
So, also, they're about 0.3 off the pace right now from the leaders. Blocker just ran a 24.5. The other driver's running 25, or 24.8 rather, so 0.3 off.
Speaking of which, there's talking with the Spark VR guys. Here comes Frank Levick and Chad Simpson. They're about to go a lap down.
Yeah, Chad Simpson surprises me a little bit. He was not one of the drivers that got in the OL, but he started 20th and slipped backwards to 25th. And Simpson usually runs well on the bigger ovals, so surprise at his drop today as well. But, I mean, after coming off of Michigan with, you know, sweeping the podium, I'm not thinking they're too upset with their current position in terms of, you know, how they've been running.
No, I mean, they got one of their drivers leading the championship. That's definitely something.
Yeah, they've got it figured out. We are 5 laps away from halfway, though. Can we make a prediction, or is it too soon? I mean, we've been running green for all 70 laps, but Blocker, Stouffer, Pavelski, those top 3 looking pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say, I definitely think our winner is going to come from the top 6 drivers: Blocker, Stouffer, Pavelski, Kinsella, Bennett, and Lichtenberg.
I want to take your attention back to what just happened at the exit of turn 2. It was the 6 car I saw that was mighty close to having a big disaster. This was at the exit of turn 2, and whoa, the 22, they almost got together here.
And definitely, it's typically the exits of these corners that these cars almost get together.
Yeah, look from up above. Maybe it was maybe a little farther away than it looked, but he has this big run. I think that's the 22 of Simon Bryant on his
It's
inside.
coming up in front of him.
Oh man, that's and you have to make that. This is happening at 215 plus miles an hour. The 22 did open up that outside lane for the 6, but that almost went wrong, and that was right in front of our leaders. That's why.
And what we saw all transpired. What we're looking at in slow motion, that was all transpired within seconds, if not milliseconds. So, quite quick reactions in these cars. Adam Blocker working through some more lap traffic here. Stouffer's taking the lead, and it looks like they're kind of been disconnected at the moment.
Yeah, again, I think they're still kind of doing this flip-flopping back and forth. I think with, once we get to lap 100, that's when you're going to kick it up a notch, and you're going to stop giving the spot back on purpose. But lap number 74, Stouffer leads the way, and it's not the first laps he's led tonight. It'll be his 13th that he's racked up on the board. Brian Carey and Philip Kraus, 16th and 17th to 79 and 19.
Look at the last time Stouffer's been to victory lane. It was back in January of 2019. We didn't cover season 4. We covered season 5 and now currently season 6. So it's been a while since Stouffer's been to victory lane, over a year. So we could see the 13 if he can hold off his championship teammate, Adam Blocker, in the 1. It's going to be, I think, an interesting battle between those guys.
So AJ Burton, another driver that got an EOL at the start of the race, he's back up to 13th place. If we get a caution, I'm watching this number 50 car on the restart, but I'm thinking we're less and less likely to see it. I think if we do get a caution, it'll be within the last 20 laps.
I think, honestly, if we get... Voice crack there. As Liam Quinn down on pit road. That's another driver we have not seen anywhere near the front. It's a 24. We usually see him do really well.
Started 30th.
It's been a struggle for Quinn and a few other drivers. But one driver I definitely think if a caution comes out, watch out for the 144 of Demerit. He's up in the 9th. And remember, we're starting all the way in the back of the pack and has driven his way up all these spots, and he's actually looking like he might pass the Tony Shallen soon in the 31.
Yeah, we have more pit stops underway. The second stop of the night for Joshua Chin, and a few more. Bradley Walters is also on pit lane, so a second run of pit stops underway at the moment. Comes that is the 32. Not the 32. Andrew Wood, 32. Yeah, that's right. But Andrew Wood is down 2 laps down, so it's not been his night either.
No, it's not.
And the car that spun earlier in the race, it was a 76 of Andreas Eich. Where is he? He's still 17th on the lead lap, so he's still battling, but not as high as he was.
No, I mean, considering he was running 6th, 7th around there, if very least was inside the top 10 back in 17th, it's not going to be good. I definitely don't think good enough for him. When you make a mistake like that, you just hope for a caution come out, but it hasn't had that luck. Meanwhile, Lichtenberg getting past Kinsella, and these broken air cars, honestly, I gotta say, they look like they're starting to kick up into gear once the run goes on, as we see Pavelski, one of those guys, come down to pit road.
So we're past halfway here for the Coca-Cola of Kokomo Elite Series, and it is a beautiful sight looking down at Kentucky Speedway. We've had 31 lead changes tonight as we make our way around. Pit stops underway for the second time here this evening. Up at the front, it's Chris Stouffer leading Adam Blocker by about 83 thousandths of a second. These two continue to duel. Pavelski is in his stall. So here comes as well Henry Bennett, the 007, second in the point standings. Hasn't been a phenomenal A4, but certainly been a very solid top 10 run he's building up right now.
Yeah, if anything, he's beating his main rival, Philip Kraus, in the 19s. That's really all he needs to be doing.
And really, Kraus, because he ran so well in Michigan, that was a double points race. That's what put him so far ahead. He's not out of the realm of possibility of getting caught again before the season's end. And he's heading to road courses, which are a big unknown for Philip Kraus, even though he did run well at Indianapolis.
Looking Kinsella and Blocker side by side. Or sorry, Lichtenberg and Kinsella.
70 laps to go. Lap number 81 currently underway. And Simon Bryant into his box back in 26th spot. And pit stops have been happening at a slower rate this time around, that's for sure.
Yeah, these guys are, ideally if you were to cut this race, with 3 stops, you'd be coming in every 37, 38 laps. These guys last time came around between 40, anywhere from 40 to around 44. So you can come in, you have quite a big window to work with, and obviously I don't think you want to come in with too many guys on pit road.
Stouffer locked up the tires on entry, but it looks like he did get it woed down to pace, or pit speed rather. Blocker will follow him in. Christopher Demerit will stay out on the racetrack. Will he lead the lap? He will not, because Lichtenberg is still out on course.
Here's we'll see Lichtenberg come in and then Demerit stay out another lap. It's not completely urgent for these guys to come on down.
Yeah, and his teammates, I would think that they'd work together in some fashion to get another point for the 144.
Lichtenberg looks like he's going to stay out another lap. Same thing with Demerit.
And as we continue to run here, I think we'll do a SimTV sound surge and crank it up for a little bit, let you listen to the sound of these Dallara IR18 Indy cars. And we were just kind of giggling and laughing a little bit, kind of at the expense of Roofs, but we were just saying how, you know, sometimes a caution's nice to mix things back up. Well, we almost got one as Aaron Roofs came to pit lane, and he'll come in and get service, but what a scary moment he had on pit lane entry.
Yeah, at the very least, he's got to say that was a fantastic save by the 30s.
Yeah, he did a really good job. He actually got on the apron, and that's what caused him to go for a bit of a loop. Here is... You saw it live from one angle, we'll show it to you again from a different one. And just catches the apron and just almost loops around, and the grass actually kind of helps him here. Gets straightened back out as he hits the pavement, locks up the tires, and around he went.
Yeah, I was surprised he actually went for the apron. I typically wanted to avoid that thing at all costs, no matter what you're trying to do. You really only want to come down the apron when you're sufficiently slowed down.
Well, he's sufficiently sped back up. Will rejoin the racetrack down 2 laps down in 29th place. Up at the front, Blocker has a 3.9 second lead. Whereas Pavelski, well, he's 3.9 back. Then it's Kinsella, Lichtenberg, Bennett, Demerit, Brophy, Chowan, Kingsbury, and AJ Burton, the rest of your top 10.
Where is...
We're missing somebody.
Stouffer.
Chris Stouffer in the 13 is down in 26th.
Ooh.
Was there a penalty?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that just a penalty?
40s, I mean, could have had a wing change as well, but I don't see why that would have happened.
Or was it excessive speeding? Dude, you want to see if we can, since we got a little bit of a lull in the action?
Yeah, let's go back. I mean, again, I think we did see him come in pretty hot back when he did come to pit lane, and I'm not really sure.
I'm trying to think, you know, with a massive amount of time he spent on pit road, unless he was repairing damage or something. You know, the normal speeding penalty is only 15 seconds.
Yeah, so let's skip ahead here. This is his pit lane entry. Well, maybe we'll ride on board here.
Oh, he came in pretty hot.
Came in pretty fast. I wonder if it was pit exit. Potentially.
Yeah, let's... unless maybe he had trouble getting to the box.
Yeah, here's just fast forwarding here into the replay into the pit box area.
Perfectly installed. So I guess on entry.
Yeah. And he spent 47 seconds in pit lane, and this is looking from up above all the cars going around the racetrack.
and he's still.
And now he's back rolling, and that's wow. Okay, that was fast. But that is a frustrating situation for Chris Stouffer.
And we're just talking about, you know, he hasn't won since January of last year in season 4, season 6 now, so it's been a while. And he was looking very much like a competitor to win tonight, and now taken out of the battle from there. So, not sure what exactly happened with Chris Stouffer. I imagine the penalty might have been something else as well. But
Adam Blocker has a 4.7 second lead over Pavelski, and it's growing at 0.2 a lap. He's flying right now for 3rd place. Lichtenberg and Kinsella are preoccupied with their fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like Blocker might be able to run away with this unless we have a caution later in this race to throw a wrench into things.
Yeah, we've had only
one retirement,
and that was Caleb Bleakley. He just pulled off, no damage.
Yeah, I was gonna say that wasn't a wreck. And in fact, that's the thing too. Almost no one has damage to their car.
Yeah, Riley Thompson's 4 laps down. I don't know exactly how that happened, but he has gone backwards somewhere.
I've some more issues for the pit road related for the 76.
Pit road issues, real world issues. But 95 laps into this 150 lap event. And we're getting down to the very end. There's about 20 minutes left in this race. And this race has been absolutely flying, both in pace and Adam Blocker. He's just checked out. 5-second lead.
Now working to the inside. That's
wow, a 24.3. That was a really quick lap for Pavelski at 24.5. So it's still 2/10 a lap that Blocker's just driving away. I wonder if he made an adjustment to that car, because that's faster than we've seen this late.
Could be, and I think that's another thing too with the open setup, especially in this car. You can change a lot of little things, and it's key to do it, especially as the sun starts to set, track starts to rubber up as the race goes on. You need to be able to make adjustments to this car to keep it fast and then make it even faster if you can. And those improvements are definitely going to mean a lot if you can get that adjustability in the car. And the gap now for second, 5 seconds, over 5 seconds.
Looking down from high above at Kentucky Speedway, 97 laps into this 150 lap event, and we're getting down to the very last bits of this round of the season. So next week, make sure you join us at 7:15 Eastern for the continuation of this series at Barber Motorsports Park, a very tight, technical, twisty road course in the heart of Alabama, and that is going to be a really fun race, because we've only gone to Barber, I think, once or twice.
Very few times.
Fuel IndyCar went a long time ago, but it's a great racetrack, a super underrated racetrack. But I'm glad that we get to go back there next week, and then it'll be the week after that, it'll be Long Beach and then COTA. And then we go finish off the season with the Indy 500, round number 12, towards the tail end of the year. So, tail end of the season, rather. So I'm really looking forward to the next 4 weeks. It's road course, road course, road course, oval. And it's going to totally mix up the championship, because the drivers that have been leading the points, they might have trouble with the more technical and challenging courses coming up.
I honestly just can't wait till we get to Indianapolis, and I will be the full 200 laps. You're not joking with the 500. It is going to be 500 miles, so it's going to be a long one, but a great way. No, honestly, there's no better place to end out the season for these cars but at Indianapolis.
I'm also excited for Long Beach, because we've never actually broadcasted a race at Long Beach before. For a bunch of different reasons, but one of the most obvious being that the track's
not done.
Track's not done.
Should be done.
It should be, but it's not. 50 laps to go for Adam Blocker as he crosses the line. He has led 43 laps tonight. We've got 50 trips around Kentucky Speedway before we're going to declare a winner and give him the checkered flag, the points, and move on to next week.
He's absolutely done with his race. As I say that, though, Pavelski's starting to reel him back in. Was about 2/10 faster.
Yeah, it's actually switched. So that makes me really wonder if either Blocker was held up by traffic. We'll see this time. At 24.5, he's kind of right back on pace, but still a little slower.
Can answer it.
24.7, he's slowed as well, so 2/10 back the other direction.
So since we've run green since the drop of the green flag earlier to start this race, 100 laps later, looking at 14 cars, 15. Kerry looking just about to go a lap down.
I'm surprised it took this long to get only 15 drivers on the lead lap. I mean, we've had a really competitive field, top to bottom. And I know we had some lap traffic early, but it's really taken them a while to get this many cars a lap down, especially with all the green flag pit stops. We've had so much room for error. And the fact that we've still got this many cars on the lead lap is really impressive this late in the race.
Christopher Demerit up in 6th place.
This is phenomenal. He started at the tail of the field with an EOL Finian, and he just drove his way back. Think back to Texas, round 3 of season 5. Finished up, I believe, in 3rd spot there. He's really, really good at these intermediate ovals and showing it again tonight.
Yeah, honestly, if we can't, I mean, he's probably not, definitely not still not done. He's got Henry Bennett a second up the road, and then Kinsella 1.6 seconds ahead of him, and then add another second to that, and that's Lichtenberg. So he's got 3 cars fairly close to him, and I mean, he's driven up all the way to it's almost like he started here. So he's done a phenomenal job tonight so far. If we had a thing for driver of the race, we'd definitely go to Christopher Demerit.
Well, you have to wonder if he had started where he was supposed to.
Yeah.
How dangerous he would have been for the race win. Now, granted, remember like way back a long time ago, we were saying how he was a bunch of seconds back. He was 9 seconds back like 60 laps ago. He's 8.7 back. He's actually made up time on the leader since that, and that's really difficult to do.
Yeah, might lose a little bit of time. He got held up by
Chad Simpson 42.
Yeah. But he's now trying to set his sights. He's got there. You see Bennett right up ahead, and then not too far ahead of him is Kinsella.
Yeah, Henry Bennett has crept inside the top 5. He was running in the top 10 earlier, but he has slowly climbed the way inside the top 5, and he is going to gain a big chunk of points on Philip Kraus, who is stuck in 19th place right now. This has not been the night for the 19 or any of the Spark VR cars, really. Ray Kingsbury is up in 11th, but none of them inside the top 10.
No, Matt Kingsbury is
Matt Kingsbury. Okay, 9th, but he's barely there. He's hanging on, but almost. He's got AJ Burton coming from behind, too, and Burton's another EOL driver. From the start of the race back about an hour ago, the lights atop the scoring pylon have been glowing in green. No progress has been slowed yet tonight. Adam Blocker has been out front for quite a while. He's now officially led over a third of this race, and by far has led the most laps of anybody, and looks like that'll stay that way unless one of the other front runners can get up inside, lead with the next 10 or so laps.
Yeah, and again, I also just want to give really at this point, even if we do have a caution, I think just a pat on the back to all 33 drivers that started this race. It is not easy to start 33 guys and have not a single caution at an oval like this.
We haven't even really had, we've had like one scare.
Yeah.
Which, you mentioned it, 33 cars in an Indy car at an intermediate oval, and we haven't had a single crash.
You know, you expect, 1, 2, maybe 3. Yeah, on the safe side of things, just due to the nature of the way these guys race. You expect that with oval racing, but not a single incident is fantastic. You see the 32 Andrew Wood off and on pit road.
Yeah, again, it's super impressive, and I think we can't reiterate that enough. I mean, we've seen a lot of racing on Sim TV, but this is some of the best. Some of the best IndyCar racing, some of the best oval racing, period. Some of the best racing, period, on Sim TV. These guys consistently put it on.
Brett Kerr still has not gotten a lap down. I would have thought that Blocker would have passed him and put him a lap down by now, but
here he goes. Maybe hoping, trying to keep him on the lip. Well, Blocker's got a 5-second lead to burn up, so maybe hoping for a yellow with drivers hitting pit lane. You see Bennett has just
I was going to say, that is also his teammate with Kerry.
Yeah, so I think he's going to let this lead get burned up a little bit to help out the 79 in case there is a caution. And it's a higher chance now than there was 5 or 10 laps ago and 5 or 10 laps from now because everyone's coming to pit lane.
Yeah, I was going to say, pit window is just about opened up. So if you want to get your final stop out of the way, you can definitely do it now. You might see some guys try to stretch it out a little bit. Just hoping for the caution. There you see Liam Quinn. You just keep slowing down to get onto the road.
I think Blocker knows that he's quicker than the 12, and he'll let this lead get down to 2, maybe even 1.5 seconds. He won't let him get back into drafting range, though. I think, if this race goes on I think he's just waiting until the 79 either pits or he pits first. Yeah. He's really just trying to help out his teammate, but he is burning off a couple tenths a lap doing so. Realistically,
I only see a caution probably the last high chance we have of it coming out. It'll probably be on this pit stop sequence. If a driver makes a mistake, we saw earlier, we almost saw a caution coming down to pit road, so can't happen again. Other than that, if everything goes fine, we could definitely go green all the way to the end.
Only, but 35 laps away from it?
Yep. They're doing a great job for 115.
Joshua Chin on pit lane at his number 93. He is free and cleared away.
Mistakes for the 93. Curious if we might see anything up from some of the guys.
Jason Brophy has been super impressive this season. He's won a pair of races. He's been on podiums lately, and I think
still third in the points too.
He has had a phenomenal season. I don't think he came into this series expecting to run this well. I think he's even a little bit surprised at how well he's been running, and it's been refreshing to say the least. Because I know there's a lot of drivers that they jump in a series, and especially a series as competitive as this one, and they'll run 15th, they'll run 18th, and they get frustrated. But Jason Brophy came in here and immediately found success at his first start, ended up winning at Homestead, and repeated a couple weeks later. Brophy's good, and he's going to be a championship contender.
Yeah, one in Milwaukee as well on a fuel mileage race. Picked the strategy just right to get the 88 victory lane. Oh, Walter's up and around, and actually got some damage too, major damage to the right wing of that car.
Yeah, he actually did hit the wall. And this, I don't think he was he trying to come to pit lane? No, I think he just,
Oh, wow. Made some contact with Stouffer.
Was it Stouffer? Oh, man.
Pretty sure it was Stouffer in the silver and black car.
And Chris Stouffer has ahead in front. Yeah, it was Stouffer.
Oh, and Stouffer's fine. I was curious if Stouffer had damage, but he got away clean from that.
Sofer continues, but it's Bradley Walters that gets in the short end of the stick there.
That was the first car-to-car incident we at least seen on camera.
Yeah, you're right. Other than maybe a minor scrape or scratch here and there, that was the first major contact of any. That's the first bent bodywork I've seen all night long.
Yeah, so Walters is going to retire that car. I imagine missing the entire right side part of that car.
Pavelski to pit lane from second. Blocker still has a 4.7 lead. 4.7 second lead this time over Lichtenberg.
Yeah,
Joe Branch is on pit lane.
So Lichtenberg, I'm curious. Lichtenberg is catching back up to his teammate who he lost time to. So I imagine Lichtenberg probably the faster between himself and Pavelski. Everyone just turning laps in.
Yeah, again, it's been 119 laps since the drop of the green flag, and the flagman has been bored up there. He has not had a whole lot to...
I was going to say, he doesn't even have the job of showing blue flags.
No, he needs another arm workout somewhere because he's not getting it here, and the gym's not open right now, so he's got some work to do, I think, after the race is over. But take a look down at Kentucky. 30 laps to go this time by. And Blocker leads by 4.2 seconds. Showen, Jason Brophy, Matt Kingsbury on pit lane. And the field very much spread around this 1.5 mile racetrack, and the chance for caution dwindling with every moment. And we could run this thing all the way to the end on green flag.
30 laps to go. Even if we get a caution now, too, it'll be a short run to the end.
It would be, and if we get a caution now, chaos begins because there'll be everyone getting greedy. But
I thought it saw Blocker. I think he thought he was going to come down pit road and did not.
Joe Branch is making up some time because he has made his pit stop. Others have not, but not the night that I think we would have expected after he started in second. Bill Malkin really hasn't been much of a competitor. So certainly the qualifying setup is on point for the 28.
Yeah, I think he also had some other issue. I feel like you really aren't going to fall 2 laps down. Also, the fact that the leaders haven't come down, but I think realistically should be 1 lap down once this all cycles out. But yeah, still not a great run for the 28.
So the leader's holding out for a little bit longer. Blocker, Lichtenberg, Demerit, Kingsbury, Carey.
Might as well if you're Blocker. I mean, you're not really... He's losing a little bit of time to Lichtenberg, but nowhere near, I think, where Lichtenberg actually needs to be as far as pace. So I think Blocker just kind of running this out, hoping for, if there is a caution, he's going to be on the upper hand of that.
Christopher Demerit hits pit lane in the number 144. He'll come on down from a top 5 running position into his box. Andreas Eich in the 76. He's going to be a lap down. He did spin out earlier. He's made pretty good time, but again, the only previous winner in the Coca-Cola of Kokomo Elite Series at Kentucky. Well, might end up with a top 10 or top 12 after tonight, but it could have been a little bit better had he not made that mistake. And that just goes to show how important every moment is in a race like this, because you can make a mistake, and you won't necessarily always get a caution to make up for that mistake.
Yeah, this is really, if you need to run almost a perfect race, or at least a mistake-free race, to get a solid finish in tonight. We've seen a lot of the guys that made mistakes. They've paid the price quite a bit.
Adam Blocker, your leader on caution. Trouble on the racetrack. And who is it? It's Jason Brophy in turn 3. And our first caution of the night is out, and that traps a huge portion of the field to lap down.
In the lead and who did not come into the pits. It's Brendan Lichtenberg.
Wow.
This is a great strategy call, whether we meant it or not, to stay out a little bit longer. He's going to inherit the lead. In fact, it's also going to help. We talk about recovering from mistakes. It's going to help out Andreas Eich. He did not come down to pit road. He's going to be third.
Oh, does that change everything or what? What a huge turn of events in a race that was going so green for so long. Here's a look. Brophy. Oh, is that Bennett?
Oh.
And a big crash in turn 3. Got up and started to tumble.
And a lot of netcode, too, between them.
Yeah, that was certainly not what the 88 needed here. But here's another look. For going down the back straightaway, and these guys running side by side, and I just think that they thought, I don't know if the 007 swings out to the side here to get into a better arc into the corner, or, I mean, it's hard to tell. Maybe look from up above here, get a better look. Maybe Brophy comes down a little bit.
Yeah, but I think Brophy thought that Bennett was going to keep it tighter to the corner.
See him go for a wild tumble there in turn 3, so Brophy's night will come to a very abrupt end, and will be not a great result for him. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, here comes the leader, Lichtenberg, down to pit lane.
Walker actually is going to be lucky here. He's going to actually take the lead back.
Yeah, he got really lucky with when he came to pit lane and how that all cycled out.
He's lucky when the caution came out, too. So, because that came out as he was still down there. He didn't get put a lap down. Meanwhile, every single other driver got put a lap down.
So lots to sort out here, timing and scoring-wise. So We'll wait until everyone gets cycled back around to bring that back up.
Ooh, actually, I think Lichtenberg actually just beat him out of the pits.
And I don't know how this works. If you beat him out of the pits, do you have to let the leader on?
I don't think you should. Well, Lichtenberg came in and came out the leader.
Yeah,
Blocker never took the lead. I thought Blocker was going to get the lead back, but I think because he was so far
behind lap traffic.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Oh man. So as we head on down to the racetrack again, we're going to be under 20 laps to go with the restart. I mean,
did Lichtenberg come out of those pits?
Oh, did he get a penalty of some sort?
I think he came out in
man.
He came out of closed pits.
And that would have given Blocker the lead back.
Yeah. So Blocker is going to inherit the lead. Lichtenberg going to be back and forth.
Okay, well,
end of the world.
Yeah.
And actually, how about that? We were talking about Blocker. He didn't put Brian Carey a lap down. Remember, crucially, he stayed in behind his teammate to keep him on the lead lap. Not only will Carey remain in the lead lap, he's going to be in second.
This is exactly why. When you look back at that and you're wondering, why did he do that? Why was he slowing himself down and sacrificing his lead that he built for his teammate? That is exactly why. That's great teamwork tonight. And Carey sits in second place. The foresight is incredible. I mean, you could never know that was going to happen, but just in case they did that, and look where Carey is now.
There's going to be a lot of wave around, to say the least. In fact, I think everyone else but 4 cars is going to have to take a wave around to get back on the lead lap.
And we hear some drivers burning fuel off as well, so they're trying to lighten their cars up for this last run. Is that the only caution, or is this going to start a chain reaction of cautions?
This might start a chain reaction here, but granted, there is only so many cautions we can have. We can only probably have maybe 2 cautions, 2, 3. So
those are crucial, because if they involve the leaders, they're going to be very important yellow flags.
Yeah, I imagine though these guys are going to keep their head on their shoulders. They've done a really good job so far. It's definitely going to be intense here. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a caution, but I don't think it's going to be complete utter chaos.
If you dangle a carrot in front of their face, they will try to take a bite, Finney, and they are going to go for it. And I like you, have lots of confidence, but I also know in the back of my mind that there is a prize on the table at the end of this season, and they're going to be going for it.
Lights in the pace car are probably going to go off this time by. I would not be too surprised to see the caution extended, because again, I think there's about 28 cars, 27 that need to go flying around the field. In fact, let's take a look from the blimp.
Yeah, this is going to be a very entertaining shot. You see the field.
It's going to look like they took the green flag.
Yeah, no, they didn't. There they all go. And sometimes you see incidents as everyone checks back up.
Yeah.
So we have to keep an eye on the field as they come back around. That is certainly about 3/4 of the field.
Oh, it's
more than that, maybe.
Yeah. I think finally now, actually, a blocker's going to catch the pace car, but everyone else racing back around to catch back up.
And here's a look from the starter cam as they all cycle back around at full speed, 200 miles an hour under caution. We might just get them lined back up before the start, so we shouldn't have to.
Oh, yeah, actually, we won't have to do, right, because, it's single file.
All right, 21 laps to go with the restart. Take your pick.
I want to say Lichtenberg. Oh wait, actually, is Lichtenberg having to let?
Does he have an EOL? Okay, no, he's good. He's just
I was gonna say it shouldn't make you have to go by waiver rounds, so you got a little bit lucky there. He's stuck in quite a bit back, quite a bit of traffic. So I don't know. I feel like Blocker's gonna take this, but. Or no.
Well, I'm going to hold my guess until we see if we can make it 5 or 6 laps, and then I'll tell you who I think is going to win the race, because I think this is crucial. Here we go. Green flag back in the air here in Kentucky with 21 laps to go in the Coca-Cola of Kokomo Elite Series. Oh, I heard a car hit the wall. Did we all make it? I think we did somehow.
I don't know the Sadie guys that hit the wall.
We made it. Blocker, Kerry Ike, how about Andres Ike in 3rd place?
Like I was saying, that caution really helped him out. He's up in 3rd. Don't know if he's got necessarily a car to win, but how about Brian Carey in 2nd place? Yeah, I imagine he's got a similar car.
Look at that mess.
Wow, that's a lot of cars in a small space.
Oh my goodness. That's what, 9, 10 cars all together in a big group. There's Philip Kraus on the outside trying to get what he can. You can only pass up to about 13th place because he's a lap down, but this is all places that you could try to get. Here's John Poole right behind Liam Quinn.
All these guys are all a lap down, racing each other.
And as much as I don't want to pull away from this, we do have a battle for the lead.
Oh!
Carey and Blocker.
Teammates, wow.
Wow, that was dicey. Here comes Ike through to 2nd. And there's a 77 of Levick. I don't think he's on the lead lap. He is not. He's in 13th, the first car 1 lap down. But Andreas Eich has moved himself into 2nd place. He is a past winner here. 18 laps to go. Can he get it done?
Don't quite count out Brendan Lichtenberg. He's catching them.
Here comes Eich to the outside. A big run to the middle groove.
Trying to find some sort of way around Blocker. Blocker defending that inside lane.
Ray Kingsbury up in 6th place. He's not out of the question either. Neither is Matt Pavelski in 5th. If these front drivers tangle. 3 cars all together. Blocker, Eich, and Carey. A teammate sandwich. Here comes Eich to the outside. Battle for the lead.
Giving a little bit of room to Blocker on the inside. It's enough for Blocker to just get clear for the lead.
Ike's going to have a look to the outside. Blocker staying defensive on the inside lane. Is he burning up tire staying down there, or is that the place to be?
I kind of think he might be, but granted he is in clean air, so you have to keep that in mind as well.
16 laps to go. Ike again to the outside. Maybe he can start pinching down that number 1 car, but there's so much danger in that. That's something you do on the last lap if you're desperate. And Brian Carey sticking in here as well was almost a lap down earlier, and Blocker is the one that saved him from that.
Here comes Brendan Lichtenberg. He's caught up. You remember, he restarted 4 seconds in behind these guys. He's brought that down to under a second. They only got 1 more lap car to get past, and he's pretty much already in their draft, so he's going to catch right back up. It's going to be a 4-car battle for the lead.
Ike now to the bottom of the racetrack. Different change, and the one trying to throw a block couldn't do it. Here comes Ike to the lead, turn 3.
And one taking a wide line through the corner. Is not going to be enough. Ike going to get clear of Blocker before turn 4.
14 laps to go.
He's going to lead this lap.
Blocker back to the bottom. And now they're just switching back and forth, playing leapfrog as these drivers were doing earlier. Ike now on the attack, and this time it's no longer amicable. They're going for it.
Yeah, here comes Lichtenberg in the 10, right here where it matters the most. Keep an eye at him. That car has been pretty fast. He's just not at the track position, I feel, to really get himself up in the lead. But here he is with that track position now, but Ike's still going at it with Blocker.
And will the tire difference be significant? It's only 2 laps, Phineas, so is that enough to make a difference?
I don't think it's going to be really much of a difference. Really, these top 4, if anything, is really where the tire difference is going to matter, because they all pretty much have the same exact tires.
Ike back to the bottom again. I think he's discovered that if you make the pass on the bottom in 3 and 4, you sometimes can come out ahead of turn 4. Blocker's way up the racetrack. I think Blocker's experimenting too to see if he can hold that outside group and lead at the line. That time it was Ike. 12 laps to go.
Yeah, only by thousandths of a second, but it's going to be kind of tough to time this here.
And Lichtenberg is approaching quickly.
Blocker now looking to the inside, and Ike looks like he's going to give him the lane. Ike's going to pull him behind.
Yeah, I think Ike is definitely stronger on the bottom in 3 and 4. He hasn't been so good up top. Lichtenberg is behind Brian Carey, and Carey's going to be playing defense now, Finney, and keeping that 10 car out of the range of his teammate.
That car is going to be a big threat. Look how far Lichtenberg just sent the car into the corner.
Might not have a
lane
choice.
on the outside.
Yep.
Great run for the 10.
Yeah, the 10 was really taking advantage of that opportunity. Here comes Blocker back to the bottom, coming back this time for 10 laps to go in the Coca-Cola of Kokomo Elite Series at Kentucky. Blocker and Ike side by side for the lead. At the line, I think it was Ike by a nose. 10 to go.
And more importantly, in behind, clear is Lichtenberg of Brian Carey, now setting his sights on Blocker up ahead. This is going to get interesting here.
Blocker back to the bottom again, and will these two continue to fight? Lichtenberg's just been eating them alive, and they've been wasting their tires. Lichtenberg hasn't had to push that hard. He's going to have a little bit more to deal with.
Yeah, he has had to work a little bit to get past some lap traffic that was ahead of him, so... But still, I imagine a little bit fresher than the guys who've been duking out, but he's still not clear of Carey. Carey back on his inside.
Yeah, these two have to sort it out pretty quickly if they're going to want to have a chance to fight these two leaders. There's Riley Thompson in back. He is not on the lead lap, will not be a factor in this race, but if he gets back up to Carey and Lichtenberg, he certainly could. So, reverse spins on the front straightaway.
Blocker around, no caution as he's on the grass and
oh my goodness, and the leader is out of this race. And back on the racetrack.
Oh man, Ike gonna take the lead of this race.
Wow.
I don't think that's gonna last too long.
With 8 laps to go, trouble at the start-finish line. Ike leads, Lichtenberg closing and closing fast. Blocker falls to 12th, last on the lead lap.
Oh man.
He ran up the 76 at the exit of turn 4, and I'm not sure exactly. We'll go back and look at it later. I'm not sure how that all went down, but someone's not going to be happy later, I'll tell you that.
Ike's starting to actually put down some decent times in comparison to Lichtenberg. Lichtenberg's got to get his head down and put in some laps, otherwise he's going to lose sight of the 76.
He's got to Keep his eye on the prize here. He's 8/10 back.
car
He
is
needs to close it.
undisputed.
It's pushing hard in 3 and 4.
He's really struggling on the exit of these corners.
If we get a crash here, we might get a restart. Any later than this, we might not.
Oh, we might. Kinsella.
Oh, Kinsella to the outside. Burton in the middle. On the bottom, rather. That is
Pavelski in the middle.
Pavelski in the middle.
Battle for 6th place between these drivers.
On the lead lap as well. Schauwen is in here. There's Matt Kingsbury at the back of that shot. And Lichtenberg losing ground.
Yeah,
Can Ike repeat his Kentucky victory?
I think he can. I don't see Lichtenberg catching back up. That car has just not been handling well. I thought it would have been, but I don't know what's changed for the 10.
Andreas Ike is the only driver in Indy Elite Series history to ever win in Kentucky. They've only made one trip here before. And he's got 4 laps to win it in dramatic fashion after contact with Adam Blocker sent the number 1 car tumbling through the grass. And behind him, these guys are fighting tooth and nail for every spot they can get, but Ike is out front in a league of his own.
Yeah, and actually, right up ahead of him, there's Christopher Demerit. You saw climbing up the order by himself. He's gotten that restart ahead. Has a chance to move up a few more spots. Is up in 5th. Now looking at 4th with Ray Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Here comes Kinsella and A.J. Burton in behind.
Yeah, Kingsbury it benefited big time from the caution flag, and either way, if he finishes 5th or 6th, this will still be an improvement from where he was running earlier. So he's going to lose 1 spot, maybe 2 though, because here comes Kinsella to the inside, and he might even lose 3 because Burton's here as well.
Oh, easy.
And out of turn number 2, Demerit cycles out to 5th, Kinsella 4th, Kingsbury 6th, A.J. Burton in 7th.
Meanwhile, for Andreas, like it's going to be 2 laps to go as he makes it back to the line. I'm amazed that Lichtenberg was not able to catch back up. I think Ike had a really good car in clean air. All he needed was that clean air to work with.
He's driving away. 1.5 seconds is the difference for 4th. Demerit and Kinsella are side by side.
Still side by side off the corner as well.
For Andreas Ike, he'll see the white flag this time through. 1.5 miles left for Andreas Ike for 4th. Demerit and Kinsella continue their fight. Burton in 6th. Can he chase down either of these two?
Still gonna have a presence on the outside lane. Demerit gonna try to defend on that inside. It's gonna be tough. He's gonna pinch.
For Andreas Ike, the only driver to win at Kentucky, he'll come out of turn number 4 in dramatic fashion after contact with the 1 blocker. Andreas Ike will win at Kentucky Speedway in the Coca-Cola of Kokomo Elite Series. For 2nd, Lichtenberg 3rd, Carey, Kinsella 4th, A.J. Burton in 5th, Demerit falls to 6th in the final corner.
Right, I can't imagine gonna be too disappointed with that. Pavelski in 7th, Matt Kingsbury in 8th, Blocker gonna recover back to 9th, but is definitely gonna be disappointed with that. And Henry Bennett will round out your top 10.
Wow. Andreas Ike, the driver from Scandinavia. The 76. Something special about Kentucky for him. And he'll call it quits right there. Let's go back and take a look. It was 8 laps to go when there was trouble with Adam Blocker. And I'm really curious to hear what Adam Blocker had to say about that. And we have to go back and look at exactly what happened because I don't have any clue. Tell you the truth.
Wait, oh, is that Lichtenberg doing burnouts?
Oh no. Was there potentially a penalty?
I was gonna say, I think that might be.
No.
Oh, wait.
Who's
Blocker doing burnouts?
It is Blocker doing burnouts.
Oh.
That's a weird. All right, well, he feels like he should have won that race. Let's go back again and let's try to find the contact that he had. It was on lap number 142, which is where it happened. Or 143 rather, and it was out of turn 4 where they had, uh-oh, I just clicked the wrong button. Bear with me. 143 was where the crash happened. And let's see here. There we go, I gotta do it. There we go. Okay, so they come out of turn 4, and 76 got into the rear. I don't know if the 1 came up across the racetrack, but here's another look. Let's go look from up above. Did he come up and chop off the nose of the 76, in your opinion, or is this like, oh, there's some net code for sure.
There's some net code on that, so that's kind of
makes the whole thing kind of a moot point to talk about.
Yeah. Let's try to on the roll bar of Andreas Ike. I'm curious to see on the top of his car really how close it was.
The 1 car was committed full throttle here, and they come out of turn 4, and it's close. I don't know. That's a tricky one for me, Finn. I don't really know if I think, to me, that looks like just a racing incident, but it's certainly not what you want to see in the last 10 laps of the race. And Blocker definitely does come up, but he's clear. I mean, he's allowed to do that.
Yeah, he's clear for quite a while. And yeah, you could see it. Like, I think he was making a move to the outside, or was in the process of making a move. Let's run it at full speed just to kind of give you an idea of.
Yeah, give it some context here. I think would be important.
Yeah, you can see he made a move. He was in the process of making a swing to the outside, but before he can do that, because these guys, you know, especially when you race this car for a long time, you know the limits of the car and how much distance, even though you can't see the wing, you have a really solid understanding of, you know, where's the limits, the boundaries between these cars. So he was making a move to the outside. Unfortunately, I think some netcode got in the way there, and that's going to be kind of rough.
Yeah, you have to wonder though, like you know, cutting it that close. We've always seen that these iRacing cars, the netcode always appears to be worse on these cars, and it's not worse based on the car. It's based on the speed, because that's just how the internet works. It can only go so fast, and when you're traveling at such crazy speeds, the margin for error is larger. So there's definitely, you know, an argument on the one car blocker side that there should be more room given, especially when you're driving against a competitor from across the world. But I'm sure there'll be a discussion and a debrief about it. We're going to talk to your race winner, Andreas, because I'm sure he's ready to celebrate. Lichtenberg Carey as well will be on standby. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
My father's father had two brothers and a sister. His older sister, Hazel, had married a man named Jim Junker, and he was involved in the bottling business early on, as early as 1906 in Indianapolis, and he sold flavors. He would have had grape, cream soda, blood orange, ginger ale. In 1915, he got the franchise for Coca-Cola in Indianapolis. So then we fast forward 20 years later to 1935, Jim Junker approached my grandfather and his two brothers and said the franchises in Kokomo, Logansport, and Peru are available for sale, and you guys want this. Trust me, you want to get in the Coca-Cola business.
Welcome back live to Sim TV in the Coca-Cola of Kokomo Elite Series. Here now with our 9th place finisher, Adam Blocker, the number 1. Adam, tonight didn't end the way that you wanted. It was contact with 8 laps to go that sent you spinning wildly through the infield. At 200 miles an hour, you got a bit of a tap from behind at the exit of turn 4. What happened there, and how are you feeling after that race, after being so competitive and leading over 70, almost 80 laps tonight?
Well, I mean, first thing, yeah, like you said, he led 79 laps, I think, or something like that. The setup we had, power slide, was probably the best setup, along with the Broken Arrow guys. But yeah, running strong with Stouffer. He had a speeding penalty, unfortunately. But yeah, me, Kinsella, Henry all had strong nights. I think we proved that, once again, that we're, if not the strongest team, one of the strongest teams in the series. obviously, I wanted there to not be a caution at the end because I definitely would have won without it. Still should have won with the caution because, I mean, quite frankly, like he should have lifted, and he had a lane he didn't have to drive into me. So yeah, he really shouldn't be proud of the win, but I guess that's just how it goes sometimes.
Adam, still a top 10 result, so it'll still be a pretty decent week for you. Thanks for talking. We do head to Barber Motorsports Park next week. Is that a track that you're looking forward to?
Well, first, I mean, the weekend's not that great because the points fall off a lot after top 3, so unfortunately that kind of killed me. But yeah, looking forward to 3 road courses coming up. We should be strong. I like Barber a lot in this car, so yeah, looking forward to hopefully getting win number 3.
All right, Adam Blocker, 9th place tonight, the number 1. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, thanks.
Moving on now to Christopher Demerit, the number 144. It was a night that started with an EOL penalty, but Chris, tonight was a really good race for you. Charged all the way back up into 6th, but perhaps another few cautions sprinkled throughout the race would have made things a little bit easier, but you got to be thrilled with the top 10 after climbing through the field.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was a lot of fun to slowly make my way through the field. That last caution really, I mean, I was pretty much going to end up, I'd have to look back up. It was something like P5 or battling with Kinsella for P4 at the very end, you know, with no cautions. That would be amazing. You know, if I had stayed out for, you know, another 3 laps, I would have probably been battling for the lead at the end. But, you know, I'll happily take a P6 from starting, you know, P last pretty much with 1 caution in the race.
So when you start at the back like that, you know, there's a couple different things that are going through your mind. Maybe you're hoping for a couple cautions to get you back up to the field, but maybe you're hoping for green so you don't get caught up in one of those accidents. How dicey was it out there? Because it seemed like, for the most part, it was pretty clean out there tonight.
Yeah, it was clean, but it was definitely dicey. Lane choice was an interesting one. As we went throughout, I noticed that a lot of people would move, especially in 3 and 4, would move up the racetrack, so I could really send it down at the bottom and get some clean air and lift a little bit to get the car to turn. And I pretty much used that the entire race, and that was really useful. And then the top in 1 and 2 is pretty good.
Christopher Demerit, the 144, 6th place tonight. Chris, really solid run. We'll see you next week at Barber.
Yeah, see ya.
Move on now to Brendan Lichtenberg, who finished in 2nd place tonight. Brendan, a really strong run for you and your team. We had to just talk to Christopher Demerit, who finished 6th tonight, but 2nd place, 1.6 seconds short. The leaders tangled, but Ike drove off into the distance there. What'd you need to go get that 76?
Probably another caution and more laps. You know, clean air is really advantageous tonight, and I mean, you saw it yourself, just the multiple lanes everyone was running, and really kind of a guessing game, almost like a chess match in a way. You make your move 1 lap and then probably wouldn't make the same move the next lap, and it's just guessing where that car is going to be. And luckily I guessed good a lot tonight, and also had a very good car under too, so that helps.
Next week we head to Barber Motorsports Park, a really challenging, tricky road course that's pretty unforgiving with the runoff area or the lack thereof. Is that a track that you're maybe looking forward to, or is road courses really not your thing as we head to a stretch of 3 consecutive road tracks?
I like road courses. I can't say I'm particularly fast at all of them. Barber, I do pretty good for the most part, at least what I consider good for me. I'm not going to have like Adam Blocker pace, but would like to have a goal is top 10s at road courses this season. So Barber's going to be hopefully a pretty good track for me. It's a really fun track too. I'm glad we're going there.
Lichtenberg, 2nd place tonight. Brendan, thanks for talking. We'll see you next week.
See you later.
Brian Carey finished 3rd place tonight, and clever teamwork towards the end there, Brian, between you and Adam Blocker. Cut you a break, was about to put you a lap down, and it ended up saving you towards the end there, and you got yourself in a position to win, and it was the 3rd place, a podium tonight. You got to be thrilled with how that all turned out.
Well, yeah, I mean, considering how the first half of the 3/4 of the season have gone, it's been Keystone Cops up to this point. So I'm just happy to get to the finish line. And in fairness, after the end of the line penalty, that was just pure luck. I got that 3-lap window. It's like, well, if I get a yellow here, maybe I'll get some places. And it turned out that way.
It seemed like the setup strategy tonight was to run a bit higher downforce. No surprise, as we always kind of see this at 1.5-mile ovals. But, you know, you had to come through the field, as did Christopher Demerit and a couple other cars. How tricky was it to pass, and could you use other lanes to get the job done?
Yeah, actually, it was. I don't know what the downforce. I mean, it's so hard to figure out what everyone else is running. I actually took out a ton of downforce on my second stop because, like, I wasn't able to move forward. And after I did that, like the first half of the race, I think I passed about, I don't know, 10 cars in that first stint. And then, but I got to a point where I stopped. So once that downforce came off after the second stint, I think it was a little bit more consistent and it wasn't too hard, but as you saw at the end there, I couldn't get past Brendan at all. Like I had a couple runs at him, but I was never close.
Next week we head to Barber Motorsports Park. Good luck out there, Brian. Hopefully we'll see you on the podium again.
Awesome. Thanks, Kyle. Way more comfortable there.
All right, absolutely. Have a good night. Moving on now. Actually, no, we're not going to move on now to our race winner because he is off playing Minecraft. So, so Andreas Zyk, obviously there will be some frustrations from the Power Slide camp after that finish, but as Adam Blocker said, he shouldn't be proud. You know, it was still a really good run either way. I think he would have been podium regardless, so he should be proud. You know how the finish happened. That's up for the track race control to decide, but. Either way, what a spectacular race we saw tonight.
Yeah, I do have a feeling that I think I'll probably see Ike hold on to the win. I would be kind of surprised if there is a penalty given to Ike for that. We'll have to see, especially because you know once Netco gets involved, it's kind of you kind of have to throw your hands up into the air because you can't assume that there would have been contact because like you were saying earlier, that kind of throws it. That makes your point kind of mute. But still, regardless of that, fantastic race by these guys. Obviously, you can see there, one caution for only 4 laps, 146 laps green, 4 to 3 lead changes.
Incredible.
Too, yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Before we go, though, we got a lot of stuff coming up on SimTV. So if you're still watching and hanging out, don't leave just yet because I need to read to you what our schedule is this week. So some of it you've already seen in your subscription inbox. If you're subscribed, make sure you do that if you have not already. So tomorrow night, it's going to be ERSCA action. They will be headed to Homestead tomorrow night, Homestead Miami Speedway, and we'll also have 3 wide Grand National Series from Lime Rock Park. It'll be a doubleheader tomorrow, and then Tuesday it'll be Fuel Premier Series action from Pocono. Wednesday it'll be the Rodenzo Sports Car Challenge from Circuit of the Americas. Thursday, Scars Ferrari Challenge heads to Alton Park. And Friday will be Washington, D.C. region action from Summit Point, a 1.2-hour endurance race. And then Saturday, Outsider Racing League will head to their next event at Texas Motor Speedway. Really looking forward to that one. That'll be the entire week coming up. And then next Sunday night, it will be Indy Elite Series returning to Barber Motorsports Park. Thank you so much for watching and have a spectacular night. We'll see you tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern.